Hey ladies, welcome to the hair closet. I'm in my sister unit right now, but not for long. This video is on the $129 straight frontal unit. That unit comes in 10, 12, or 14. 10 is $129, 12 is $139, and 14 is $149. We'll be installing the 14-inch straight frontal unit. I'm going to show you how to install with adhesive, how to cut and style, and slay this unit. It's going to look so natural after we're done, with some really good tips and tricks to help you install it with adhesive and be able to reuse it. So when using adhesive, we don't want to over pluck, over bleach, or use too much glue so that you're not able to reuse it. If you do any of these steps in excess, you will thin out your frontal and it could go bald. So I'm going to show you some tips so that you can reuse it with either the band or use adhesive again. And then if you're shopping on the hair closet right now, you guys know you get free adhesive and remover. So this is going to get you set. We would definitely say seek professional help. But if you're intermediate to advanced, we would say this video is totally for you. If not, it's okay. We'll show you also how to put it on with the band and go. But if you're intermediate to advanced, go ahead and keep watching this video. So when you get your unit, it's going to come in the Hair Closet official box. These boxes are so cute, you guys. It just asks you how big your hair closet is, and then you can write your unit, name, and number. What number is this for you? And then also remember to follow us here on Instagram and on Facebook. Remember, if you like your unit, go ahead and leave a product review. That's going to give you extra savings on your next purchase. So in addition to whatever discount we're running, you'll get a gift card that gives you extra savings. When you get your unit, it's going to come in this plastic bag. And real quick, you guys, at the Hair Closet, we offer 30-day exchanges and returns. When you get it, it's going to have a tag and a strap. This strap is super important to read. So it just says, if it's been removed, in addition to the lace, we can't honor a return or exchange. But let's say when you first get it, the things you need to be looking for is like the quality of the hair. Do you like the quality of the hair? Do you like the construction of the unit? Do you like everything before you even put it on? Even though it has a strap, you're still going to be able to try it on. So I'm going to remove my unit I have now. When we package it, it comes with a cap. You'll take that out. You can put that cap right on your head so that you can safely try it on to see if it's something you want to keep and you want to make it into your hair closet. I'll remove this one. I'll slide the provided cap on. And I'll still be able to try on the unit. All units from the hair closet come with a band, so I'll go band first, then slide the back of the unit down. From there, I'm really liking the fit already. So that's something you would want to look for. Does it fit my head? Does it feel good? Does the hair feel good? In addition to that, you can strand test. So to strand test your unit, you'll grab a small piece from the back. So no color treatments or anything like that to test. Just simply heat, apply it to the back, ensure that it stands up to your test. And then once you're sure you want to keep it, then you can get into manipulating, removing the strap and the lace, and then this baby is yours. The strap and the lace is tampered with in any way that we can't do any returns or exchanges. But if not, you can totally switch it out for anything on the hair closet or for a full refund. So I'm certain that I want to keep this unit. I really want a really cute summer style. The first step you can go into to make it look more natural would be bleaching and tinting. However, we don't suggest bleaching or tinting on these units or any unit because you're going to lessen the life of the unit. If you do, try 20 developer, no stronger than that. Be very mindful, watch it very closely to see how much it lightens. And then after you bleach, make sure you go back and tint it to match your skin tone. Tinting would just be turning the knots of the lace a little bit darker so that it matches. Usually honey brown matches really well with darker skin tones, or you can leave it more of that yellow color, but wash it with a purple shampoo to get rid of some of that brassiness. So bleaching and tinting is a little bit more advanced. You can do it, but be mindful, you will lessen the life of the unit. If you don't do that, this is what we would suggest. We would suggest going in with a little bit of your foundation on the underside of the lace That's going to ensure that it matches perfectly with your skin tone. Don't do it on the top of the lace because when you go outside into the sun, it will oxidize and turn darker. So we're going to get into step one of making this unit look more natural. So I'm going to take it off, place it onto a mannequin head, and we'll get started. So the first thing we want to do after we're sure we want to keep the unit is go ahead and cut away this strap right here. So that just ensures that we know it's ours and we want to keep it. So I'm going to pull it out gently because it does tie in through the lace and through the cap and you don't want to make any tears in it. Then I'm going to place my unit onto the styrofoam head. So you would do the same exact thing if you were getting ready to bleach and tint the knots, but this way we're going to make sure we get to the color that we want underneath, and we're not going to mess up the integrity of the unit by over pleaching or over plucking. This unit is generally already good to go, but if you want to take these extra steps, then you can. So all I'm going to do is take out my foundation that I use day to day on my own face. I'm going to use a flat foundation brush. The foundation I use is going to be Fenty Beauty 420. That is my skin tone. And then it's also going to be a flat foundation brush. That's going to make sure we can apply it smoothly. So first I want to apply it to the back of my hand so that we don't have any big or heavy spots. I'm going to emulsify it on the back of my hand with the brush, and then I'm just going to dab it on. It seriously is that simple. That's going to ensure that it matches our skin tone. I'm going to follow the entire hairline, and it's not darker in some areas, lighter in the others. We're doing it on the back of the lace, you guys, so that it doesn't oxidize in the sun. We don't want it turning orange or yellow on us. Usually it turns orange. If you do put it on the front of your lace, make sure you do a shade or two lighter than you so that when it does turn darker, it still blends in very well. So my part is primarily going to be right in the center, so that's where I'm going to put it. Straight down the center across the hairline. Okay, cool. So we're pretty much all tinted on the lace. Looks really good. It's gonna match our skin tone. We're gonna leave this lace intact because with the newer techniques, you guys, you'll find that the lace is being cut afterwards so that it blends and it's more flush with the scalp. What I am gonna do before we start to put it on is just flip this unit. Make the hairline more natural by plucking it just lightly. You do not want to over pluck your unit, you guys, because if you do, it's going to thin out way too quick and you won't get as much wear out of it. So generally for my middle parts, I like them really full, so I'm not going to go into too much plucking or anything like that because I want it to still look really full and nice. Plucking just makes the hairline look really nice. You still want to keep it full, especially like for anything that's a blunt cut or a middle part. You don't have to do anything too crazy. If it's a side part, generally I do a little bit more so that I can pull it behind my ear. But since I'll primarily be wearing this style down and only pulling back on it occasionally, I'm not going to over plug. I like to leave out the front hairline, leave that a little bit fuller so that it doesn't look bald or sparse up there. Spray with mousse and water mixed together to soften the hair. Comb all of those hairs back. And then with a pair of tweezers, just pluck out hairs in no true uniform way. Just pluck lightly. You do not want to over pluck. Lace is really delicate, so you want to make sure you're not pulling at the lace and tearing that, and you're not putting holes or huge gaps into the lace. You just want just enough, maybe 3 or 4 in an area here, 3 or 4 in an area here, and move along. Don't be too concentrated in one spot because your unit can start to go bald. And you want to be mindful because as you're wearing the unit, combing through it, styling it day to day, you're going to lose strands anyway. So if you start off a little bit too crazy, it's going to be too much hair, let's say in about 3 to 4 weeks. So really keep in mind that this is an investment that you want to keep. You can get the best style by over plucking, honestly. You really can. You can be laid and slayed, but you will not be able to reuse the unit. So be mindful. Really take care of your unit. So I'm just going through plucking out little hairs that I don't want, but keeping in mind that I do want to wear this as a blunt cut, you guys. So I'm gonna keep it pretty full, but just enough to make it look a little bit more natural in that hairline. So as I go, I'm just gonna comb out any of that little shed hair. And we can see that hairline coming together. On the front hairline, I'm just gonna pull out a few pieces to break up that hairline, just a few, and then comb it into place. Since I have a center part, I'm just gonna clean that up as well. I don't like my parts too wide because I know as I wear it and I kind of do this motion, little hairs are going to pull out anyways. So I'm just gonna go and open up that part a little bit more, but not too much, because I know with lace, because it's delicate, it's gonna do its own thing. It's gonna shed on its own, it's gonna widen on its own, and I don't wanna start too wide. If I over pluck it, I can ruin the unit. Of course, it's 13 by 3.5, so I can change up the part if I want to, but I don't want to have to. I really enjoy this middle part, and I don't want to over pluck it because it will thin out the unit as well. So keep that in mind too. So I'm just going in, and this is a different technique. I know that I want to clean up this middle part, right, you guys? So I'm just taking it, I'm slicing out this piece of hair, and I'm pulling down on it to remove a larger section of hair all at once. Don't go crazy, just maybe 4 or 5 strands. This is gonna save you from that constant plucking, and it's gonna open up that part really nicely. You don't wanna tear too much because you can tear a hole in the lace, so be mindful. But just open up that part just a bit more. So this is a really cool tool or trick, you guys. So this is a tool that helps you ventilate lace, right? So lace is hand tied through these small holes. You're gonna hand tie hair in. Let's say if you over pluck or you have a unit that is older, you can use this tool and any hair that's kind of fallen out, shed hair from the unit, and you can place it back. So I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you're going into your unit, you're plucking, you're having a good time, you're not paying attention, and you pluck a small hole in it. This is gonna allow you to place hair right back in that hole. So I'm gonna place hair right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's gonna be right in here. There's a small row, about 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on this side that can stand to have a little bit more hair. You can kind of see as I pull down on it. So I'm gonna go in and add hair back in, and this is a tool that you can buy right off of Amazon. You can add hair right back in. There are a few companies that also do it. So with units, you're gonna wanna put in maintenance and care, whether you're over plucking or this is just regular shedding over time. You want to either be able to do it yourself or take it to someone who can. So all I'm gonna do is, you can either get hair that's from the back of the unit or hair that you've just over plucked. If you still have it, you can get it out of a brush, whatever hair that's from the unit. And I'll show you how to put it right back in. So you're gonna take those strands, you're gonna wet them with water, and then go ahead and twist it around your hand. You're gonna make a little twist like that. You're then gonna pull a few strands out that you want. Make sure you're close to the base of the unit. You're gonna go under one hole of the lace, you guys. And you're gonna feed that hair right through on that hook of the tool. Pull up with good tension on both sides. Slide that needle with that hair to the other side. You see how you can kind of pull that? You're then gonna make a twist with all the hair that you've got, and you're gonna slide it back through. Hold it down so that it stays in place, and we've just made a single knot that's gonna hold that hair in. Do you see that? So we've just started filling in that hair right there. Take your time with it. There's literally no rush. So it's easy to remove hair. It's a little harder to add it back in, but you can do both at home. Make sure you've got that hair tied in a small little loop on your finger. Go underneath one hole. Make sure the hair is close. Loop it through onto that hook. Pull with good tension. Slide it under and make a knot. We're gonna go underneath. Pull with good tension. Slide it back underneath. Twist it and make a knot. Hold it down, 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 and we've made our knot. And you see, we're just beginning to add it in. Take each one of those holes and add the hair back in. Once you're done, flip the unit back over, because you remember we added foundation to the back side, and add that color back to those as well. And looping the hair, holding it close to the lace. Go underneath one hole, and as we get closer to the front, grab a few less hairs, maybe 1 or 2 as opposed to 3 or 4 when you're in the back, so that it looks really natural, not too full. And pull it straight through. Hold it down, 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 and pull down. So we've essentially got rid of that hole that was right there. I'm now going to comb it into place to make sure we've gotten rid of any shed here. So you can do all of this stuff at home. That's a little bit more advanced, but you can totally do it. Just make sure you're being mindful, you're not over plucking, and you're seeing what you're doing. So with my units, if I'm doing any kind of styling, I generally like to do it all on a mannequin head before I get to my head, so that I can see all sides of the unit. For this unit, I have a 14-inch straight frontal bob from the hair closet, and what I'm wanting to do is cut it into a bob. I want my bob, right now it sits at the shoulders, I want it to sit about neck length on me. So what I'm going to do is straighten this unit out completely so that there's no kind of folds in it, because it just came out of packaging. From there, I'm going to go ahead and put it on me to sit where I want to cut it, and then do a dry cut on the mannequin before it even gets on me, because nobody's here to help me. So So it's definitely worth noting, you guys, that this is just the unit with the band. Hasn't been glued on or anything. It looks super pretty, beautiful, natural. That hairline is so beautiful. This unit is just $149 at thehaircloset.com right now. And it's going to allow us to either, you can leave it here, kind of bump the ends if you wanted to. You can go to a shorter length if you wanted to as well, just like we're about to do right now. So I've just estimated that it's probably like 3 inches that I want to come off if I want it to be right around the neckline for a super sleek, beautiful summer look. And that's what we're gonna do. Check that out, you guys. It looks so natural. You can switch up the part on this unit if you'd like. You can pull back the hairline. All we've done is apply that foundation. It looks so beautiful. So the easiest way I found to cut is to look at the unit in about 3 different sections. So you have the back, and then you have side and side. I'm going to clip those 3 sections away, and then we're going to give this unit a really nice blunt cut. Taking it off about 3 inches, leaving room for if we want to go shorter, but not taking it too short initially. So I'm wanting a really nice summer bob. You might be saying, well, why didn't you do the 10 or the 12? Me personally, I like to start with a little bit more length on my unit so that I have room to do whatever style I want. Generally, I keep them longer to begin with, and then as they get older, I'll take more length off. But this unit was at such an affordable price, said why not get it and then do what I want and kind of play around with it from there. So all I'm going to do is separate this bottom section, and this is going to be our guideline down here. I'm going to clip it away. Make sure the unit is pulled down. And this initial cut is going to give the unit the shape that we're looking for. I'm going to grab right in the middle. Knowing that I want to take off 3 inches on the sides, it's probably going to be 1.5 to 2 in the back. So we don't want it too short. And I'm going to cut. And we're just going to take that guide and follow up. We're going to do sections no bigger than 1 inch so that we're not overcutting. And we want to be able to see through to our guide at the bottom. We should be able to flip that hair right up and see that guide underneath. If not, we've taken too much and we need to take just a little bit less to make sure the cut is even. We should be able to flip that hair right up, see that guide, and cut according to the guide so that our and that cut is really coming together. This will be our last section for the middle. We want to make sure everything is combed in the right direction. And from there we can clearly see our guide, but we'll still take the time to make sure it's really nice and even. You should be able to see your guideline right through there. Generally try not to cut past the second knuckle, but I'm being bad. With blunt cuts like this, I do like to generally start a little bit longer so I have more room to play with the hair, kind of get the shape that I want and the density and the fullness. just cut our unit on the mannequin. From here, all we're gonna do is kind of clean the cut up. I'm just gonna use a hand mirror, and this mirror here, I have a mirror behind me just to check the cut on all angles as best as I can. Our cut is looking really good. We cut it according to our guide. You can totally go to a licensed professional to get all of this done. But if you just got the unit, you want to try it yourself, save some money, anything like that, this tutorial would be really good. Easy steps to follow, just take your time. Right now we're going to get into installing the unit. So the hairline on this unit is still really full because it's a blunt cut. I want fullness right around the face. I don't want it to look too sparse or anything like that. You can do a ball cap at this point if you're familiar. Or usually I like to save a little bit of time and I just simply put the cap on. Because it's full and I know I'm not going to be pulling back on my hairline or anything like that, I'm simply just going to use the cap, match it with my foundation that I normally use, and then place the unit on top. I'm going to show you how to adhere it, so you can either do a ball cap or you can just use this method, which is the easy, lazy way. But it does save time, energy, and you don't have to worry about pasting the cap on. I would only suggest this method if you're not doing a style that requires it being pulled back or anything like that, because you don't want to see this line from the cap on your unit. So make sure you're blending this out. And because we're not going to be pulling back on each unit or anything like that, it's totally okay. So I'm just matching it with my skin tone. So the same foundation that we used on the underside. I'm just going to clean off my hairline with some basic rubbing alcohol. Make sure I don't have any foundation or residue from anything up there. Got to be freeze spray as a protectant to my hairline, and I'm just going to move all those little baby hairs back. I'm going to blow dry that in. Exhale. That's going to be a lace adhesive that we find works really well. It has moisture control in it, so you can make sure you can work out in it, you can kind of sweat in it, not too much. If you're going to be really active in it, make sure right after your activity you just tie it back down so that it re-adheres. You'll notice that this will turn white if it's wet or if it's in its drying state, and you just want to tie it back down so that it can dry again. So this is an add-on and a special that we're running, so it's included with the $149 unit, and units up from there. So make sure you add it to your cart when it asks, do you want to add on the Ghost Bond? We also have the remover that you can buy for $5 from the website as well for certain units. Yeah, that you can buy for $5 from the website as well. Both of those are up there. So the bond and remover, we offer both. Adhesives can be dangerous depending on how you're installing and removing them. You always want to make sure you have the matching remover if you're ever going to adhere anything to you, and make sure you never put it directly on your hair. These little hairs are fine, more fragile, and if you have glue and you remove it improperly, you can tear out the hair from the scalp. Luckily, it's hair, it'll grow back, you'll be fine. Just be mindful when applying it. I'm going to apply it right above the hairline. I'm going to bring the camera in a little closer so you can see exactly what we're talking about. We're going to let it set, dry, and then apply the unit. These are both available on the website right now, and we are running a special that you can add it to your cart for free depending on certain units. Just make sure when it asks you, would you like this add-on, that you click it. It is $5 separately. for both of these. If you put them both together, they're just $8. So make sure you add it if you plan on adhering your unit. You can also just wear the band. You guys saw how flush and beautiful it was, but if you're wanting a longer hold, more that you can kind of do with, go ahead and adhere it for a day or two, not too much longer. You can wear it up to a week if you're tying it down nightly with a nice scarf, and make sure when you remove it, you remove the adhesive from the back of the lace. You don't let it set or dry on there as well, so that you can reuse your unit. And we're going to apply one thin layer, nothing more than that. So I'm just going to lightly dab on the adhesive in front of the hairline, you guys. I want it as close as possible so that it's not running into my eyebrows or anything like that, but in front of the hairline enough to where it's not going to damage. Just want to smooth the product in and connect those dots just a bit in front of the hairline. We want it blow dry just enough where it begins to kind of clear, but it's still tacky. Then we're going to place the unit on, sliding the band on first. And then we're going to pull the lace down, making sure we line it up perfectly. So I'm going to pull the lace down. I'm pulling the lace down. And remember, we left this hairline fuller on this unit so that we can have a nice full blunt cut. I'm just going to go in and begin to blow dry straight across. We left the hairline much fuller because we're doing a blunt cut, in which will pretty much only show the middle part and right up in here. Here we're going to begin to cut away the excess lace. So I'm just going to start by snipping away the middle. And we just want to make sure we tack these down now. And I'm just going to use some freezing spray for that small ear tab. We'll blow dry it in. From here, we're just going to sew down the back of the unit. So I'm just going to grab up a section that's about 2 inches from the back, trying to make that line as straight as possible. I'm going to clip that hair above straight up. And I'm just going to sew from ear to ear. I'm also going to go a little higher up and sew right behind the frontal. We have it sewn on, we have it glued. Now I'm just going to pull down just a little bit of that front hairline. Just a little bit. So I generally don't like to make baby hair, but you do need something to cover up the slightest bit of lace up there. So I like to pull down just a little bit of hair in the front and then tie it down to kind of keep those hairs in place and to melt that lace. I'm just tying it with a hair closet. We've cut it, made it look more natural by applying foundation, and we went ahead and plucked it just a bit. We've also adhered it. Look at how beautiful and natural that looks, you guys. We've left the hairline full because we're just going to do a blunt cut. And all we're going to do at this point is go ahead and style it with a natural slight bump under, and then check out that cut one more time to make sure it looks really nice and natural. And then we're all done. So to give it that bump, I'm just going to clip some hair up and away. We're going to take a large flat iron and we're just going to slide it through the hair with a bump in the middle. We're not going to do a hard bevel or a bump like that because it's going to give us too much roundness and we want to see that edginess. So we just want that bump to be straight in the middle and leave those ends straight. So bump in the middle and straight. Don't tuck the flat iron under or it's going to give it too much of a round shape. We just want that bump in the middle and then straight. You gon' hold me down always. So the frontal came out great, you guys. Look at that. We didn't have to tint it. We didn't have to bleach it. All we used was our foundation and we don't have to worry about it oxidizing. Those edges also came out. We left them a little bit fuller. We didn't over tweeze or over pluck so that we can reuse this unit. And then check out that cut. We followed that guide, you guys. And that's it, you guys. So we have cut, installed, all of that good stuff. This unit, it looks like a completely different unit. Both styles are so pretty. You can wear it with the band or adhered. It's totally up to you, but check that out. You can do it all by yourself or take it to a professional cosmetologist. It's totally up to you. But with these tools, you can definitely get it done at home, or you can wear the unit just like it is straight out of the box. You can even go into other styles. It's totally up to you. This unit is so versatile, and just $149 with the adhesive included along with the remover. So check it out at thehaircloset.com.